Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of my favorite albums. This was like my quintessential album I listened to in college, and that's Sun Kil Moon's Ghosts of the Great Highway. This came out back in 2003, and the version I have here I think came out in 2007 or 2010. This is a reissue because I wore my original copy out, you guys. I was obsessed and I just went everywhere with it, so I got all scratched up, so I had to buy the reissue right here. For those of you who don't know, Sun Kil Moon is the brainchild of Mark Kozelek. Mark Kozelek, of course, was in the Red House Painters in the 1990s. Another one of my favorite bands. Red House Painters was considered one of the slowcore bands, and I went through a phase where I was really into slowcore. So I was listening to Red House Painters, Low, Codeine, Galaxy 500, and Idaho. Idaho is another great band. I'll probably be reviewing some of their stuff in a later video. But anyway, so I discovered Sun Kil Moon back in '03 when this first came out, shortly after this first came out, because I went to Homer's, which is a local music store here in town, and they were playing this album, and I just kind of stopped dead in my tracks. But I recognized the singer, I recognized the voice, so I was like, but I couldn't quite pinpoint at the time who it was. So I asked the guy at the counter, I was like, what are you guys playing? He's like, oh, this is Sun Kil Moon, Mark Kozelek from the Red House Painters. I was like, I thought he sounded familiar. So, and then I bought the record like right on the spot. I was like, yes, this is my kind of music. So, and I just remember like living at home while I was in college and listening to this album all the time. It was kind of like a chill album for me. It would help me calm down if I was having a bad day. It was kind of like my comfort album. So I'm just gonna kind of go over what the album entails, and if you guys have heard it, let me know in the comments below what you think, and we can like have a little discussion about it. But anyway, Ghost of the Great Highway has 10 tracks. Like I said, it came out in 2003. The first track, opener, is called Glen Tipton, and it's an acoustic track, although the tempo kind of picks up a little bit towards the end. But it's kind of a song about death. The lyrics are kind of dark. Mark is kind of reminiscing about his early days hanging out with his dad, and there's kind of like some different characters in it. But that's actually one of my favorite tracks on here. And I did a cover of this song, Glen Tipton, on SoundCloud, and I uploaded it probably less than a year ago. But if you want to hear my rendition of Glen Tipton, I will put the link below so you can check it out. So the next track is actually my absolute favorite track on the album. That's Karimi Ohio. When I listen to this whole album, I just feel like there's a sense of longing there in Mark Kozelek's voice. I don't know, this whole album just kind of transports me to another place. And Karimi Ohio, I think it clocks in at over 6 minutes long, but it's kind of one of those songs where you never get sick of it. I ended up listening to it. I had it on repeat all the time. It's just a very beautiful, sweeping song, kind of about a lost love that he's singing about. But I just love the, I guess, musicianship on it and his singing. If you were going to check out one song from this album, check out Karimi Ohio. Okay, the third song is Salvador Sanchez, and that's more of a grungy hard rock song, and it actually reminds me of Neil Young. And Mark Kozelek, you can compare him to Neil Young in a lot of ways. They kind of both have that shaky voice. They're great lyricists. They are great guitarists. Kind of have some of the same guitar style at times. So I would say two songs that kind of remind me, or I would say that he was inspired by Neil Young, would be Salvador Sanchez and Floating. So I guess we'll talk about Floating, which is the fifth song on this. Last Tide, the song before, it's not one of my favorites, but I love the transition from Last Tide into Floating. It's such a beautiful transition with the acoustic guitar. A lot of the songs on here just kind of flow, have a nice flow one into the other with the songs. So that's definitely one of the favorite things I like about this album. And it just seems kind of like a timeless album. I love the artwork on it too. It's just a beautiful, artistic, lovely album. Let's see, we'll go, I'm not going to review every single song in here, but I'll just kind of give you some highlights. Dukku Kim is like a 15-minute long song, and that's the 8th song on here. It kind of takes you on a journey musically, and it's like the soundscapes are so lush on that song. I love the guitar tones on it, and then it kind of turns into lovely acoustics towards the end, but then it kind of morphs into more of a, you get more of the harder guitars too again. So it really does take you on a musical journey of sorts. So that's one of my favorite songs as well. And then the last song on here, Pancho Villa, is kind of just another spin on Salvador Sanchez. So it's like a more toned down acoustic bass version of Salvador Sanchez. So yeah, if I were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 9. It would definitely be one of my Desert Island discs. Bravo, Mark Kozlik. This is amazing. Quite an achievement. I would say Mark Kozlik is a storyteller type lyricist. Over the past few years, I would classify him as a rambling storyteller, which hasn't really been my cup of tea. His last few Sun Kil Moon releases, which I might get flack for, but this remains my favorite Sun Kil Moon release to date. The very first one, Goes to the Great Highway. So let me know what you guys think, and hopefully this review inspired you to check it out. I will be doing some more album reviews soon, but until then, take care you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.